Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching a big India Today investigation, Operation Ayodhya. What we're about to show you over the next 1 hour is versions, testimonies of litigants in the Babri Masjid Ram Temple dispute. We asked them a very simple question. When the Supreme Court verdict comes out, will you respect it? Because for the last several years, we've been hearing that no action can be taken, no temple can be built till the time the Supreme Court comes up with a verdict. And on record, both parties in the dispute have said, no matter what the verdict, they will respect that. Is that indeed the case? Is that what they feel, or is that just something that's being said for private consumption? Sit back and watch as Jamshed Khan and Sushant Pathak from the India Today Special Investigation Team bring you Operation Ayodhya.
A long-standing point of tension. Patience is wearing thin.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट में ये जो तारीखें पढ़ रही हैं आज कल तो गलत है।
ये जो राम जन्मभूमि में विलम्ब हो रहा है, इसलिए साधु थोड़ा सा चाहते हैं कि जल्दी से जल्दी राम मंदिर बनना शुरू हो।
A constitution bench of the country's top court is now dealing with the dispute over the ownership of the Holy Land in Ayodhya. But when our undercover reporters reached out to both Hindu and Muslim litigants in the title dispute, we found neither side is willing to accept any adverse verdict, no matter when it's delivered. Haji Mehboob is a litigant in the Ayodhya lawsuit. Our special investigation team met him at his home in Ayodhya. This is what the petitioner had to say when probed how he would respond to an unfavourable judgment.
और आज भी अगर ये मस्जिद का मसला ये सोचते कि अगर ये जजमेंट दे देते हैं तो क्या आप जानते हैं मियां क्या वहाँ वो एक ईंट रख सकते हैं? मैंने तो चैलेंज भी किया था, हमने कहा अगर मैं तब तक जिंदा हूँ एक ईंट रख के बताऊँ।
जजमेंट के बाद भी, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट के बाद
मैंने रख के बताऊँ। इंशाल्लाह मैं जिंदा हो जाता। देखिए साफ बात मैं कहता हूँ, मैं तो बहुत खराब इस बात में बोल देता हूँ। मेरी जिंदगी में वो एक ईंट नहीं रख सकते, चाहे वो कुछ भी कर।
राम मंदिर की
याद रखिएगा,
चाहे सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जजमेंट,
चाहे सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट हो, चाहे जहन्नम में जजमेंट हो। मैं मुसलमान हूँ, बहुत छोटा सा मुसलमान हूँ, गुनहगार हूँ, लेकिन मेरी जिंदगी में नहीं रख सकती।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जजमेंट भी नहीं मानेंगे?
कुछ भी नहीं मानूंगा, याद रखिएगा। अगर जहाँ तक अगर वो मस्जिद हमारी मस्जिद छोड़ दें।
Litigant Haji Mehboob warned of trouble if the verdict goes at odds with his petition.
तो आप एक ईंट नहीं लगाने देंगे?
बिल्कुल नहीं लगाने दूंगा। ये मैं आपसे, आप मुसलमान, इसलिए मैं तो कहा कि भाई ठीक है जजमेंट आएगा देखा जाए, तो मैं तो ये कहा। लेकिन यकीन मानिए कोई भी मुसलमान उसको नहीं बर्दाश्त कर सकता।
तो क्लैश होगा, तो देश
क्लैश होएगा, होने इसमें क्या रद्द हो रहा है?
This is Triloki Nath Pandey, a VHP functionary appearing as a representative of the Lord, referred to as the next friend of Ram Lalla in the Ayodhya case. Pandey warned of civil unrest if the ruling favoured the other side.
नहीं तो अगर मान लीजिए सर सुप्रीम कोर्ट का फैसला आ गया और मुसलमानों को ये हक दिया गया कि आप मस्जिद बना लीजिए उक्त स्थान पर, तो और वो बनाने लगेंगे मस्जिद,
जनता के अदालत में जाएंगे।
नहीं तो सर उनके साथ तो फिर कानून और पुलिस और सब प्रशासन होगा ना उसको बनवाने देने के लिए।
साथ कोई न कोई खड़ा हो जाएगा।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट
को खड़ा करती है जनता, संविधान को खड़ा करती है जनता, सरकार को बनाती है जनता। नया संविधान बनेगा, नया पुलिस बनेगी, नया कोर्ट बनेगा, नया सिस्टम खड़ा होगा।
According to Triloki Nath Pandey, the Hindus would never accept any unfavourable ruling.
नया संविधान होगा, नया उथल पुथल आएगा दुनिया में।
फिर तो देश में हंगामा हो जाएगा, उथल पुथल
हो जाए, देश चाहेगा तो होगा, लेकिन ये तय है कि हिंदू समाज राम जन्मभूमि पर कोई समझौता नहीं करेगा। मंदिर जरूर बनेगा, चाहे हो और चाहे क्रो।
There is no solution in sight to the Ayodhya flashpoint. A decision either way still carries the potential of provoking religious tensions. Stay tuned for more on Operation Ayodhya. With Jamshed Khan and Sushant Pathak for India Today's special investigation team.
You have seen so far just part one of this explosive India Today investigation, Operation Ayodhya, because the people you heard from so far are no ordinary people. They are the key litigants in this case. It is their case that is before the Supreme Court. The onus on listening and adhering to the verdict, no matter what that verdict may be, lies on the two gentlemen you've seen so far. This is just part one. I have part two of Operation Ayodhya lined up, and it's coming up in a moment from now.
Thank you.
I want to go across to Mahmood Paracha first, because we heard from Haji Mahmood. He's the litigant in the Ayodhya dispute. He's saying that there is no way I will listen to the verdict. I will not allow for one stone to be placed. No matter what the judgment, I will not accept. I had you, and why I asked for you to be brought on the show is because you were on the show the last time we were discussing the Ram Temple issue, and you said let the verdict come out. Whatever verdict comes out will be acceptable to the Muslim side. Our investigation shows key personalities in this dispute are on record on our cameras saying they will not accept the verdict if it goes against them. Mahmood Paracha, opening comments.
Simple as this. In India, Constitution of India will prevail. I may not be happy with the judgment whatever Supreme Court formulates or pronounces, but I have to accept it. And Haji Sahab is no one to challenge the Constitution of India. Anybody who does that, we will oppose him tooth and nail, and we will silence his voice by legal means. Once again, I am saying this with full sense of responsibility, be it anyone. Constitution of India is supreme. I am saying again, I personally may not be happy with the judgment if it comes against Babri Masjid, but we will follow it to the hilt. Nobody on earth can overrule or try to subjugate Constitution of India.
You know, all of what you're saying, there is a certain sense of deja vu over, because we've heard this from you earlier. We've heard it from Haji Mahmood as well. When he's on record, he says the opposite of what he's saying when he's off record. The fact is that this is what you've been telling us, but behind the scenes, when we probe and when we check, will you accept the verdict? You just heard what Haji Mahmood said.
Haji Mahmood is an individual. He doesn't represent Muslim community, first thing. Nobody represents Muslim community as a whole. I am speaking as a Muslim, and I am also in touch with community leadership across the country. I am saying this with full sense of responsibility. Anybody who says otherwise is anti-Muslim. I am very clear on this.
Shriraj Nair, and I asked for you to come on the show as well, because you were saying that there must be an answer and the response must come from the Supreme Court. You were in fact getting impatient. And Amit Malviya from the BJP, because the Prime Minister in an interview most recently said that let the verdict in the Supreme Court come out, and whatever the verdict everyone has to agree to. Amit Malviya. Now we've got on our cameras Triloknath Pandey, who is a VHP functionary. He's appearing as a representative of God, Amit Malviya, before the Supreme Court, and he says we will not accept the verdict no matter what the verdict is. He's saying exactly the same thing, speaking the same language as Haji Mahmood, Amit Malviya.
You know, Rahul, I don't think any litigant goes to the court thinking that they would lose. And therefore, it is very natural for these litigants who have spoken on your camera the way they have. But it is important to look at it in the context. If you look at the Allahabad High Court judgment on the matter, it very clearly says that there was indeed a temple which was demolished and a mosque was forcefully built on it as a sign of subjugation, and it's something that has now been proven by several reports of those who looked at the site, the Archaeological Survey of India, several scholars, historians, and so on and so forth. There's a massive work that has gone behind in establishing that there was indeed a Ram temple, and it is in sync with the faith of the millions of people in this country. The matter has been adjudicated by the Allahabad High Court, and 2/3 of the land has been given to the Hindus and 1/3 has been given to the Muslim bodies that were claiming the site to be their own. Now the matter is in the Supreme Court. In view of the findings and in view of the comments and in view of the records that have been put in place on the court saying that the Hindus must get the entire land because it is established that the title suit is in their favor, and for that matter it has been proved through the various years and rigorous evaluation that has been done. The question therefore is that as and when the Supreme Court decides on this matter on the disputed land, it will be incumbent on the governments of the state as well as the center to ensure that the orders of the Supreme Court are executed peacefully and a Ram temple is built there, because anyway the 67 acre of land that you see there is the undisputed land. It's just a small parcel of about 2.7 acres that is the matter of dispute, and I am sure in the interest of social harmony the Muslim group and the Hindu group will essentially abide by
all of this, Sabah Naqvi, now rings hollow, because all these voices from the likes of Paracha, Amit Malviya, we've heard earlier. Now when they're asked in a candid moment, will you accept the verdict, litigants on both sides say, over my dead body, blood will flow, and therefore someone like me wonders, will there ever be resolution to the vexed issue of the Babri Masjid, even if the Supreme Court decrees one way or the other?
So I personally believe that I think for the Muslim litigants it's a show of bravado, because the community, there is nothing he can really do if the verdict goes against what whoever you got on camera. Nothing he can do. He will be pulled back because people don't want to get killed. It is not, people are fighting it to the end as a matter of upholding the majesty of the law and all of that, but in the end, strategically, I know this, and I'm not speaking here as Mahmood Paracha said, he's speaking as a Muslim. I'm speaking here as a journalist and an Indian citizen, having covered this matter for many years and years, and the politics of it. They cannot sit there and fight it out if the verdict goes against that. So be very clear about that. However, if the verdict goes the other way, it is an article of faith for the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, for the Bharatiya Janata Party, for the RSS. So that there is greater likelihood of mobilization, there is political power at the center and at the state in that event happening.
In part 2 of this expose, you will now hear from Iqbal Ansari. For those who track this case, these are very, very famous, very, very prominent names. He's a litigant in the Ayodhya title dispute. You will also hear from Saurabh Das, Mahant of the Santoshi Akhada in Ayodhya. We asked them the same question. If the verdict goes against you, will you accept that verdict? Will you honor whatever the Supreme Court says? Sit back and watch part 2 of this India Today special investigation, Operation Ayodhya.
हम तो चाहते हैं कि पूरे देश में अमन चैन होना चाहिए, पूरे देश में हिंदू मुसलमान मिल के रहेंगे तो हिंदुस्तान का नाम बहुत रोशन होगा, पूरी दुनिया में जाना जाएगा.
One stance in public.
आपको लगता है लोग सुप्रीम कोर्ट का भी फैसला मान लेंगे इसको?
अयोध्या ये बाबरी मस्जिद है, इसको पूरी दुनिया को जो है इसको जानती है, तो ऐसे सुप्रीम कोर्ट फैसला करते हैं.
Another one in private. This is Iqbal Ansari, a known face in the Ayodhya dispute, a litigant in the court case. India Today's undercover team met him at his home in Ayodhya. Ansari was outspoken about what a court ruling might attract either way.
आपको लगता है लोग सुप्रीम कोर्ट का भी फैसला मान लेंगे इसको?
अयोध्या ये बाबरी मस्जिद है, इसको पूरी दुनिया को जो है इसको जानती है, तो ऐसे सुप्रीम कोर्ट फैसला करते हैं। जैसे लोग हर प्रधानमंत्री का नाम लोग जो है 5 साल के बाद में जो नॉमिनेट होता है वो लोग जान जाते हैं। ऐसे बाबरी मस्जिद ये आने वाली कई पीढ़ी अभी जानेगी कि बाबरी मस्जिद अयोध्या में है, ये इसीलिए इसका नाम पड़ा है बाबरी।
मैं वही कह रहा हूँ, इसलिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट का फैसला नहीं मानेगा।
कोई नहीं मानेगा,
नहीं मानेंगे ना,
कोई नहीं मानेगा।
The litigant warned of disturbance in the event of an adverse judgment.
तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का फैसला अगर मुसलमानों के खिलाफ आया तो मुसलमान नहीं मानेंगे।
मुसलमान नहीं मानेगा, वो बवाल बनाया गया है।
श्री राम 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 एक राम 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 राम।
Official parties in the title dispute aside, passions run high far and wide over Ayodhya's volatile religious ground. This is Saurav Das, a mahant of the Santoshi Akhara in the holy town. And this is how he reacted when investigated about the Ayodhya dispute.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट का निर्णय अगर मुसलमानों के पक्ष में आता है
तो हम इसको बिल्कुल एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे, बिल्कुल एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे।
तो वो तो अपनी मस्जिद बनाना शुरू कर देंगे।
नहीं, बनने भी नहीं देंगे। अगर हमारे खिलाफ आता है तो बिल्कुल इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है, हमें आंदोलन करना ही पड़ेगा। राम मंदिर हम खुद जाके निर्माण करेंगे, चाहे वो पैरामिलिट्री फोर्स लाएं या फिर कुछ भी जैसी फोर्स लगाएं, उसका एकदम विरोध करेंगे। वो जाके करना ही पड़ेगा, नहीं करेंगे तो क्या करेंगे।
अच्छा, वो आंदोलन जो है वो शांतिपूर्वक आंदोलन होगा या हिंसक होगा?
देखिए, शांतिपूर्वक से तो कुछ होता नहीं है।
जो महान साधु संत आपसे कहेंगे
वो उनका सहयोग पूरा करेंगे, तन मन से। जैसे
चाहे वो हिंसक आंदोलन की आपसे कहें,
बिल्कुल कर लेंगे। चूंकि नहीं राम मंदिर बनवाना है तो बनना है, इसमें कोई रोक-टोक नहीं है।
Frenzied calls for a speedy disposal on the one side, implications for the future of India on the other. With Jamshed Khan and Sushant Pathak for India Today's special investigation team.
If the verdict of the Supreme Court goes against you, will you as a spokesperson of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad promise all those who are watching that you will respect and honor that verdict?
See, I very well categorically said that, you know, we are not Hindus from 1947 when the Constitution.
I'm asking you a straight question. Will you respect the verdict?
We have thousands of years.
Don't give me a history lecture. Will you accept the verdict? It's a straight question.
Got the guts to
accept me, at least
forget
will you
the guts.
respect?
Forget
Will you
the guts.
respect the verdict of Supreme Court? Will you respect the verdict of Supreme Court?
Shiraj, now don't shout.
Nobody has got the guts.
Shiraj, now don't shout. Shiraj, now don't shout, please. I'm asking you a straight question. If the verdict goes against you, will you respect it or not?
I'm not shouting.
Will you respect the Supreme Court's verdict if it goes against you? It's a straight, direct and simple question.
See,
He will not give you a reply.
See, first of all, there is no, we have all seen, Rahul, we have all seen what Allahabad High Court had delivered. We know that all the archaeological proofs are at our side. There was a temple which was demolished by Babur. So there is no question of case going against us. But at the same time, it is a temple.
Is, will you respect and accept and honor the verdict of Supreme Court of India or not? Simply yes or no?
Let the verdict. See, we have been deprived of judgments since last 70 years.
We are also deprived from the judgment.
We are deprived of justice.
We are also. You can't say, but we are ready to accept and welcome and honor the verdict of Supreme Court of India. Can't you say the simple thing? Yes.
See, let the judgment
it shows that you are not a law-abiding citizen. You don't have trust in a Supreme Court of India. You don't have trust in a Constitution of India.
Let Sabha Naqvi complete her argument.
This man is going on profiling people and talking about them in such a hateful way, and we all have to sit here and take this. It is unacceptable. Sabrimala has not been accepted by certain parties. The triple talaq verdict has been accepted. And don't tell me about civilization and language and literature, sir. I know the kind of mentality you come from. I don't even want to engage with people like you. I was not even aware that this is going to be one of those shows where you allow a hate monger to abuse all the other panelists and Islam and Muslims and tell people that they're uncivilized. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that you're allowing this man so much.
So first and foremost, we haven't allowed anything. We want everyone to maintain the highest standards of debate and argument.
You can shut him down.
I have shut him down, and I do not want anyone to say anything which is out of line.
This kind of person is a hate monger.
I want to show our viewers some of the key excerpts. One second. Amit Malviya wants to come and make a point. Amit.
You know, I mean, I can understand that Sabha is sounding agitated, but when she speaks of Muslim representation, that's a throwback to the Muslim League era, which was all about communal polarization and building a whole nation on the basis of identity. So let Sabha not preach what she does not follow herself. Just
they
because
have gone,
she can...
those who believe in that ideology. They have gone,
Listen,
they have migrated.
Can I finish, please?
No,
can
no, you are blaming, you are misquoting actually. That's why I am intervening. Sorry, Mr.
I'm
Rahul.
sorry.
He's misquoting
Sabha,
actually.
I
They have gone.
completely disagree
We are by
with what
choice
you
Indian,
said,
not by
and you have
default.
no right to preach to others
We
what you don't do
refuse to
yourself.
accept that ideology.
Have you given any tickets
Please
to any
don't
Muslim?
speak over me. Let me speak.
Okay, one second.
Rahul,
now you are...
No, one second. I can't have everyone speaking at the same time. You keep quiet. Let them complete, please. One second. Sabha Naqvi, you didn't like it. One second. Fade us down, please. Sabha Naqvi, you didn't like it when Shiraj Nair was speaking over you. I will allow Amit Malviya to complete before I go to the others.
Rahul, you have allowed two people on your panel to heckle me, and that's quite unacceptable to me as well. Now, the point remains, let not people come on panels and preach to others what they don't do. And again, there is no equivalence between triple talaq and the Sabrimala verdict. There is just no equivalence, and triple talaq has not been accepted by parties such as the Congress. We just heard Rahul Gandhi go out to a minority conclave and say that they would scrap triple talaq. We've had situation where Rajiv Gandhi scrapped the constitutionally given alimony to Saira Banu, a 75-year-old woman. So this is really the history of minority Muslim appeasement in our country, and the so-called secular parties are the worst abusers of it. So let's not forget perspective, let's not preach to others. The reality is
and what about
that there
you?
is a social divide.
You have promised the whole nation that you will construct the Ram temple.
Okay.
And now you are sitting in a
So I'm out of time on this broadcast.
Me, please. Don't speak over me.
What our investigation really shows is just how deep this divide is. And on record, there may be a pretense of being civilized, a pretense of wanting to respect the majesty of the law. But when you speak to them in their private moments, the thinking comes out very clearly. They are not willing to accept the judgment of the Supreme Court. We have no idea when the judgment of the Supreme Court will come, but whenever it comes, our investigation shows that there is no guarantee that this will be any form of resolution. This is a deeply divisive issue. We never take sides. But we've shown you a very important facet of this entire episode, holding a mirror to these litigants who are key players in the Ram Temple Babri Masjid dispute issue. I want to thank our guests for joining us, and I want to leave. I know that Sabha Naqvi is upset, Amit Malviya is upset, Shiraj Nair for his part is upset, Asad Khan Falahi thinks he didn't get answers to his questions from the BJP, so on that count he's upset, but that's just the kind of issue the Ram Temple issue really is. We leave it to you, our viewers, to form your own informed opinion. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.